Oh, look at that. We're live for another Joking Adventure Hour. This is Saturday, August 15, 2026. Hello to X Rumble and BitChute. Hello to YouTube. Hello to Lurks and Bots. Hello to the chat. Hello to George.
Greetings, everybody.
We stream every night because the stories are real, but the news, they tend to be fake.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Before we jump in, be sure you get your copy of The Immortal Mass, a 200-page graphic novel on sale now on my website, Dinales.com. You can also go to CriticalBlast.com, and under his publishing store, you can find that comic book there. Or if you like Amazon, you can find it on Amazon.com as well.
Yep.
All right, Joshua Reed. And he's laughing at Zero Hedge. Zero Hedge says, post Maduro's Venezuela wants its $4 billion in gold back from England. And that's the same attitude everybody's having, George. Remember, Venezuela is being controlled by the United States.
Yeah, but this guy wants it back from England.
Yeah.
Not New England, England.
Yeah. Hey, George.
Old England.
Hey, George. Remember long time ago I told you about a factoid about the Monroe Doctrine?
Yep.
Are you saying yep? Okay. Do you recall what I said about that factoid?
Nope.
All right. So the factoid was that the first use of the Monroe Doctrine that the United States utilizing their foreign policy as a new nation was between Venezuela and England. Where yeah. Isn't that funny, right?
Yep.
And you know what the matter was about?
Money?
Exactly. You know exactly what type of money?
Gold?
Yep. So at that time, United States sided with England instead of Venezuela.
Well, that blows.
Yeah.
Now the shoe is on the other foot.
Yeah. So see here Venezuela. See here's Venezuela, right? You see over here. Oh, and here's Trinidad and Tobago. Now, you see this line right here, right?
Yep.
Normally, you would call this a border, but this border is being disputed. You know why?
Why?
Because the Venezuelans are saying that part right there belongs to Venezuela.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Two in there. See right here? See this right here?
Yep.
That's the river where they said this is the actual boundary line of Venezuela. This all here is Venezuela. The Monroe Doctrine gave this over to England. This is control. This area, this whole part right here, is England controlled.
Well, that blows.
Yeah. Now, do you understand? See, isn't that weird how it's fractured like this and doesn't have a real, real thing? Yeah. So, disputed, where they're saying, England saying this is the territory belonging to them. Venezuela saying this is the territory. Now, why is this so important? Well, we talked about it before, but right here, see this curve that I'm doing right here?
Yep.
See this curve right here?
Yep.
See this curve? See this moon right here?
Yep.
That's all oil. That's all gold and precious metal.
Oh.
Back in the old day, 1800, whenever the Monroe Doctrine was first formed, all the gold mines, one of the largest in the world, were found here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now it's starting to make sense.
When Venezuela is saying they want their $4 billion of gold back, they want their territory back right here, which still has operational mines, gold mines here.
Oh, so they're still milking the gold.
Yeah. So,
Oh,
hey,
wait a minute. Isn't the United States taking over that?
what? This part?
The Venezuelan gold mines?
Well, right here in this tour, right here, but they have to open and build the gold mines. These gold mines already open and has the infrastructure. The gold mines over here, there's no infrastructure in place.
So the United States can just easily walk in and take over.
Yeah, they could easily walk in and take over. They say they can go to Georgetown, put a blockade, and say, "Hey, everything from see this right here, this goes back to Venezuela. All the golds go back to Venezuela. We're going to control it." Boom. Could easily do that.
And all England can do is just write a strongly worded letter with a lot of
Right.
adjectives that they get a bunch of uh, low level, know nothing countries to sign
Mm-hmm.
on.
Yeah. And you want to know the more evidence? Why is there Guyana City over here, but not over here? See?
Oh, yeah.
City, place, city. It doesn't make any sense unless this used to be the capital city for over here for this territory. Oh, which it was.
Oh, that blows.
Yeah. There you go. So when they're talking about the $4 billion back, they're talking about the original $4 billion that they got stolen. All right.
No, that's funny.
Yeah. I guess your thing doesn't got deleted.
Oh, what was this again?
It was like I bet it's a lady with a map and the
Oh,
common.
yeah. You know what? Let me find it. Uh, they decided to delete it, but I found another
Mm-hmm.
another copy somewhere.
Yeah.
So I undeleted the deleted.
All right. While you're doing that, Wall Street apes. This is exactly what's happening. The left, the political left, master an old mass manipulation strategy that lets them push any claims, no matter how radical, wrong, or stupid, into the mainstream without even ever having to defend it. Once you know it, you'll see it everywhere, even in daily arguments. It's called the Motet and Bailey doctrine. The Bailey is the radical, extreme version of a claim. The Motet is the small, defensible tower next to it, the mild version of the claim. In the public's mind, the two are never actually separated. They live together as one position. So when somebody attacks the Bailey, the radical version, the Motet gets defended instead, the reasonable version. And because the public sees the Molte and Bailey as the same claim, successfully defending the Molte automatically validates the Bailey too. Attacking the radical position now looks identical to attacking the reasonable one, which makes the radical position untouchable by association. This is how the overtone window is moved through hundreds of small, unwinnable fights over the Mote, each one quietly making the Bailey a more acceptable and more mainstream until what is used to be radical is just now a new normal. From there, the real political power follows. Let me give you an example. Let me give you a real world example, easy to understand, of this. Let's take the left plans to defund the police. The Bailey, the radical claim, Democrat says they want to cut and abolish the police departments, reduce their funding so severely that traditional police becomes impossible. The Multi, the mild defensible version, Democrat says we just want to reallocate some money into mental health services, social workers, and community programs so the police don't have to handle everything. Here's how they work. When critics attack the radical version, saying that something like, you want to abolish the police and leave the city less safe, the defender immediately switched to the mild version. No, we're not saying to abolish the police. We just want to make better resources to community. In reality, they plan uh, us to abolish the police. The left use this tactics all the time, which is why one of my tactics that I mentioned was, yeah, okay, let's defund the police, but move it all over to the sheriff's department, your constitutional sheriff department, which will have a more voice and representation because you vote for that sheriff's department, sheriff, and they're not, they're accountable to you, the people, the community. Guess what? I never hear anybody arguing against that.
It's very difficult.
Yeah. So I make their unreasonable claim and their reasonable claim moot. That's why you have to know your constitutional rights.
Yep.
Eric, it's official. President Trump has classified the White House ballroom construction as a military project to circumvent the activist charges. 47 even got Joint Chiefs of Chairman Dan Raisingcane to confirm it. I hear to clarify there's a valid military requirement for a secure state of art facility that provides the physical protection for the president and the command and control and communication capability necessary for the president to carry out his commander-in-chief responsibility for the United States armies anywhere across the globe at any time. Checkmate.
That's a pretty powerful statement, man.
Yeah, this is national security. The courts don't have any jurisdiction in that. Booyah. Moving on. Rapid Response 47, President Trump has decided to write a thesis for his latest True Social. Let's see what he has to say. These, Donald J. Trump, these treasures that brought the suit against the military, they revealed top military secrets. The National Trust for Historic Preservation is a beautiful name, but even their name is fake because they add the words "in the United States" to the National Trust for Historic Preservation, which makes it sound like a government agency, which it's not. In fact, the United States refused to continue funding it in 2005 because they strongly disagree with their mission and objective. They're very bad for our country. And they stopped many projects that are worthy and hurt many others. In this case, they're trying to stop one that is vital for our national security and the safety of all presidents of the United States, both current and the future, their family and staff, and cabinet members. They were asked by the United States military not to bring this suit because the top secret nature of the important facility being built. They were shown detailed plans and specification of this knitted, unified, and cohesive structure by top officers and leaders in both military and Secret Service. All right, here's a question. Why did he have to do that? If it's top secret, why did he show this? Right?
Yeah, things let me go.
But this did not defer them because they suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, commonly referred as TDS, as known by Democrat Senator John Fetterman 9 of Pennsylvania. The lower section does not work without the upper section, and likewise, the upper section doesn't work without the lower section. It's all one highly integrated unit. I think he's talking about Congress in this case, not the ballroom. The then president of the National Trust, who brought the case, Carol Quinlan, had no background in historic preservation and has been replaced ununanimously, effective immediately. This is similar to her departure from the Davidson College, where she was likewise dismissed. But the people of our country are forced to live with her bad decision, especially revealing to everyone, including our enemies throughout the world. The top secret military features of the building that are already built or under construction, such as the drone port, which occupies the entire fruit. I don't think that was mentioned. I think that was pre-release. This whole thing what I think this whole thing is basically a setup to find all the leakers and clear them
It
out.
sounds that way.
Yeah. There's absolutely no argument that a woman walking her dog in the vicinity of the White House has standing to stop such a desperate, nearly national security structure for the people of the United States. Yeah. If this was a national security, I believe the judges wouldn't even be allowed to do that. It wouldn't be in their jurisdiction.
Yep.
S will provide present, current, and future space to do their job, especially when she never saw the building because it has not risen. She has no rendering, no picture of the building because they also were in the formative stage production. This woman was not a walker; she was an activist, a serial plaintiff who is involved in much other frivolous litigation throughout the city. In fact, whenever the National Trust filed a lawsuit, she seems to be involved. So she walked at the site at the White House where there was no building. It bothered her, but she also walked in front of all those other places where she also can be bothered. And it's additional court cases. She has no clearance, no expertise whatsoever in the national security defense and require protection for the president. She has absolutely no standing to be involved in this case, and in fact, her name is not even mentioned as a plaintiff in the case. It's this kind of gross and fraudulent abuse of our courts, and there you go. That is why Americans are losing faith in our system of justice. It's so bad for our country, President Donald J. Trump.
Absolutely terrible. Atrocious.
So there you go. He's putting a spotlight on how they're manipulating and abusing, the court system for their own gains and detriment to us. Colonel Talon Watkins, why? Why you left out the why? Why did Dilgulit order NATO out of his country because NATO and their secret armies, the OAS in France, had tried to kill him over 30 times. He met face to face with General Lyman Mintzer, NATO commander, and demanded he leave France in 6 months. The same general that was fired by JFK for authoring Operation Northwood using USA Gladio Cuban exile trained by the CIA to orchestrate a domestic terror operation to justify a ground war with Cuba. The same general that was in command of secret armies when JFK was murdered the following years. The same general that accompanied Dulles, CIA director, to Operation Sunrise to arrange the transfer of Hitler's secret stay-behind network to what would be eventually the NATO and CIA control. The why matters. De Gaulle would also state that the same people trying to murder him murdered JFK. He also cabled the State Department demanding to know the whereabouts of the French assassins in Dallas on November 22nd, 1963. She's responding to this post. Dr. M.F. Khan. In 1966, French President Charles de Gaulle ordered all foreign military forces, including U.S. troops, to leave French territory. That decision pushed France out of NATO's integrated military command and set off a major Cold War shift in Europe. The United States carried out the withdrawal in an orderly way, but the move still forced American bases personnel to leave France by the deadline. It also led NATO headquarters being moved out of Paris into Brussels. One of the most memorable stories from the period involves the U.S. Secretary of State Dean Rusk asking de Gaulle whether the order applied to American soldiers buried in the military cemeteries in France. According to the article, he did not reply, and the moment has often been remembered as a sharp example of how sensitive the issue was. Um, this gentleman was a soldier in World War One and World War Two. He understood those sacrifice, and those men died for his country, so he gave them the respect of remaining buried in France. What he did not accept was that the NATO forces, have no jurisdiction in this country, tried to assassinate him, assassinate an American president, and state and said withdrawal. Hey George, did you know that we're in the Fifth Republic for France?
Yes, you told me that before.
Isn't it
I
weird?
still don't understand it.
What do you mean you still don't understand it?
It's silly. France is silly.
Yeah, France is
They're silly people.
Yeah, they're silly up to a point, but you know what? What I believe is happening is that because of this gentleman, right?
Yeah.
They destabilize every republic to fall and be better controlled by the European powers. And somehow the French are obstinate, so they build a republic and they get and the French eventually get control again. And then guess what? It crashes again, and they start the process all over again. Greg Abbott, government-owned airport cannot favor one religion over others. The DFW plans to install Islamic Wudu washing facility um, are illegal. I have directed a review of all state grants to both airports for possible reclamations and refers the DFW and the IAH to US DOT for investigation. Texas will not allow illegal religious discrimination at taxpayer funded facilities.
What? Ridiculous, sir. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, ridiculous. How dare you not bend to the knee to the Islamic invasion? Wall Street apes, elevators in condominiums and apartment buildings are being installed with coin operated elevators. Residents must pay with coins to use the elevators and be taken to their floor.
Oh my gosh.
If they don't want to pay,
Well done. Well done.
if they don't want to pay, they can instead take the stairs. These are being installed
Yes.
as a way
Yes.
to
Hold on
cover
a sec.
maintenance
What they're
costs for
not
the
telling you is
building.
the stairs is half price.
Yes. Another reason it saves energy and is better for the environment, making people twice about taking the short elevator trip they could walk. It's horrifying. Why is that? Hey, maybe the grandma who can't walk the stairs needs the elevator. You're gonna make the grandma who's on the walker, cane, or wheelchair pay to go down the stairs or take the elevator. She can't even reach there. She shouldn't be in a condominium. Oh yeah, where's the sweet old grandmother need to be? She needs to be euthanized against her will, like we did in Canada. True story.
Yep.
Remarks. Elon Musk says all government censorship requests are now publicly visible in the open source X algorithm. So if you want to see when government is asking X to censor something, you can look it up.
Ridiculous, sir.
Ridiculous. Liz Churchill. This was a real headline. Regime media is so hated because they are pathologically liars. No, they were so good in their methods, you didn't realize you were being lied to until Trump came into office and started the deprogramming the American people to realize they're being lied to. What are you talking about, Willis? First news conference, Trump said, "Fake news, you are fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news. CNN is the enemy of the people. The news is the enemy of the people. Yeah, fake news. I can't believe it. I tell you, the sky is blue. You say the sky is green. Fake news." Remember that?
Yep.
Every conference, he kept saying fake news. You say something ridiculous, fake news. Jim Acosta from CNN. All right, Jim, what are you going to tell me? Are you secretly Batman? Yes. Is CNN
Yeah.
awesome? No, fake news. Or Caitlin. Some people think that uh you're fighting a world crime conspiracy of pedophiles, and you think that you're going to help defeat and destroy them. Is that such a bad thing? What's the question? Exactly. Fake news. So here's a headline from Los Angeles Times. Voices, don't be stupid. Skipping your COVID booster could reduce your IQ. Sorry, that's fake news. Skipping your uh, COVID booster increases your IQ because it shows that you're smart and you have criminal thinking. And you're not subject to fear. Like Darth Vader, who became an asthmatic cyborg. You know, that's kind of funny if you think about it. Anakin went from a powerful Jedi to a asthmatic android with a black man's voice.
Hey, let's keep it English, sir. Let's keep it English.
He was English. When he took off his mask. Senator Ron Johnson, Dr. Fauci attorney has just notified us that Fauci refuses to appear for a private transcribed interview. The American people deserve answer to legitimate questions regarding our miserably failed response to COVID-19. Some of those questions can be answered by Dr. Fauci. He arrogantly once stated that he was very happy to testify before any congressional oversight committee. I have nothing to hide. Apparently, he has a lot to hide. Since Fauci refuses to talk about his role in decision related to COVID-19, my subcommittee will continue to obtain his record and request to speak with key individuals that he worked with. We'll explore our legal options before deciding our next steps. This is just kind of pounding it in, George.
Yes, it is.
Because they already have the record. They already got him dead to right, but they got to deprogram the American people who thought he was the science. You have to stand up. And when you go to a restaurant, you got to sit down and you can take off your mask. Or you can have mask holes so you can stuff a fork between your mask slips. Paul Sperry, breaking FBI affidavit for a search warrant in James Comey presidential threat case revealed his wife, Patrice Comey, sent him a Google screenshot of a nonviolent definition of the term 86 2 minutes before Comey posted the alleged threat against President Trump, indicating some forethought as opposed it could be construed as a threat. Well, that's funny. That means that he kind of knew that putting 86 to 47 could constitute as a threat, George.
Yes, it is.
So it's been premeditated.
Life just sucks sometimes, you know?
I know.
It just does.
Yeah. To the surprise of nobody, wow, this from Eric, wow, Democrat former high-ranking New Mexico Representative Cheryl Stapleton has been convicted in a major federal fraud case. She steered millions of illegally to a friend company and pocketed $1.15 million using her position. Hey, George, we're going to see this happening a lot with the Democrats, and then soon we'll see it turn around and see it with the Republicans as well. Just watch.
Yep.
To find out, Caitlyn Jenner, if you're XX, you're in. If you're XY, you're out. It's simple. Caitlyn responds to the recent WNBA backlash over the handling of Caitlin Clark's Sophia Cunningham gender eligibility stance and transgender debate.
XX, you're in. XY, you're out. It's that simple. And I think are doing a good job just to show the WNBA how the hypocrisy that's going on here. We have to protect women's sports. I have been coming on this show for years and years. I want to protect women's sports.
Right.
Title IX was one of the greatest legislations, and it was over 50 years ago, for women's equality. It happened to be in sports. But look at what it's done for women's sports. I don't want that to be ruined by letting biological men come in and play in women's sports. You know, XX you're in, XY you're out. You can go play with the men. XX you're in.
This kind of blows the narrative, doesn't it?
Oh man.
This is almost like the chef's kiss to what the NBA guys are doing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh man. Polymart breaking. South Korea proposes talk with North Korea to formally end the war. So there might be a chance that the armistice will actually end up with a peace deal.
Yeah.
Although, I don't know. I feel that Korea needs to be unified into one big Korea. You know?
Yep.
But that'll probably take a couple of generations because it's about 4 generations in to the current situation. Royce White, we have another one. The Minnesota Star Tribune's misgendering and dead naming me. Far left newspaper refused to use my prefer pronoun. Pay me. I'm sorry, Royce. Your pronouns is pay and me. Remember that. I expect they are racist, Nazi, bigot. Pay expects to a public apologize to the entire LGBTQ plus community. Why would they even assume a cis normative binary pronouns he she? Pay like this thought. Let's walk it through it. You're denying the legitimacy of me, multi-spirit self, which is hate and genocide. Denying and questioning the legitimacy of any 2 or more spirit person is harmful and dangerous. Also, me NBA career was curbed because pay challenged mental health policy. So effectively, the policy in place today came from me personal notebook. President would be great, but pay don't need to be president to notice that there's a crisis of young men who doesn't have discipline in America. Whether it's a man or a black trans lesbian, if one of me children is disobedient and disrespectful, it's right and necessary to discipline them. That's just old school. We need some old school in this country. This revisionist history of me career is as tired and old as is it cheap for its willful inexactitude. By the way, what will the Star Tribune and all the mainstream media outlet have to say when it finally surfaces that me abused ex-wife threatened one of my me witnesses in the trial? What are the guidelines of a trans woman and a cis woman in a she say, me say? Do we still believe all women or only women you deem to are deemed real? P.S. Your own newspaper covered me advocacy for mental health. for mental health. You should at least go woke wash those articles before you lie on the record. Joyce White for president.
Wow.
And this is a WNBA let her play. The Minnesota Star Tribune cheers to Royce White. He claims he's now a transgender woman who will enter the 2027 WNBA draft. Of all the ridiculous things White says, this is especially pernicious because she, question mark, played briefly in the NBA before anxiety and fear of travel curbed his career. This the latest assertion is clearly a stunt, part of a right-wing attack on transgender woman and athlete. No transgender athlete has ever played in the WNBA, but conservatives, including Republican U.S. Senate candidate Michelle Tafoya, continue to promote the false issue in hope of picking up votes and winning an election. White will not be on the ballot in November as he lost to Tafoya in Tuesday primary. He has not done. White now says he's running for president. Maybe I'm a dreamer, but I suggest he takes a break from politics and work on repairing the relationship with his children before shooting his mouth off like with stunts like this. Also, read this piece on mental health by former Minnesota high school basketball player Joyce White. If you're looking for a good and smart read about mental health and how it relates to current state of social unease, you will find it right here in a thoughtful piece by former Minnesota high school basketball player and former Iowa State player and former first-round NBA draft pick Royce White. If you prefer not to think about such things or make White an easy punchline, we suppose that's your business too. A taste of what White, whose anxiety disorder has been well chronicled, wrote. Mental health is an issue that requires and amplifies our individual and collective responsibility to ourselves and others. It's a mirror that reflects who we really are, yet we keep running from our reflections. We can debate cause and effect, but the facts allow for minimal wiggle room. Our own downtrodden communities are entrenched in a cycle of social dysfunction. Our police employ brutal and sometimes deadly tactics in their interaction with these communities. And within the debate about who and what is right or wrong, the most significant aspect of the discussion is, as usual, absent. Our culture inspires and subsequently neglects serious mental illness in too many of its citizens. We can no longer afford to perpetuate this problem by stubbornly refusing to address it. Hey George, how do you need to make a community or population pliable and subservient?
And give them, let's see, bread and circus.
Yeah, that keeps them distracted. But if you want them pliable and to listen and be conditioned to listen order to listen to bullshit, you have to break their spirits. And how do you do that? You
give them booze.
Exactly. Jack Pasovic, new document shows that the SPLC may have had a mole working for Alex Jones during his trial, providing information to the opposing side. Nick the Hatsatasu, the United States knew January 6th was coming and they helped plan it by proxy when these American spies pushed these agenda into the Jones network and later to those closest to Jones in an effort to incriminate the host and destroy his credibility.
Go on.
So they're now trying to say that nobody's listening to Jones anymore, and they're trying to bring up his credibility, saying, "Look, he had spies in his inner circle from the SPLC that was feeding, information to the opposition, which is why he lost the court case. Also, he was being set up and framed during the January 6th to be captured, which I believe one of his correspondents did get captured and arrested and sent to prison.
I believe one of his correspondents actually was killed.
Yeah. So, what it sounds to me is that they need him to still be a mouthpiece, so they're building up credibility for him. He still has a role to play. All right, so readers added context that people may want to know. Brad Pitt did not make these claims. The video is from his 2025 appearance on the Armchair Expert podcast, where he discussed his recovery. No public records, transcripts, or reports contained a quote or accusation about his family and son's sexuality. Random feed, Brad Pitt drops a bombshell after an explosive claim about his ex-wife, Angelina Jolie, surfaced accusing her of influencing her son's sexuality and saying that the family war pushed him back towards drinking after 9 years sober. No one respects fathers anymore. After 9 years, he'll drink too.
Whoopsie.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Who is originally a holistic nurse.
Okay.
And that I met around the time we met.
Yeah.
Or really
in your age of discovery.
In my age of discovery. And I came in one day and she said, I had a dream about you. You said, I want more green in my life. And I literally said that to someone the day before, like just out of whim. I want more
That's
green in my
spooky.
life.
That is spooky.
And so she made me a green shirt. This super soft, super cash.
So she was a holistic nurse who also made.
Yes, her name is Sadhedi, which means God's truth.
Oh,
And
okay.
she goes, "What do you think of this?" Yeah, we started making them, and we really liked them. Then we started making them for our friends, and we thought, all right, let's make a little side hustle and have some fun with it. It's who is.
All right. So nothing in that video says anything about anything.
Yep.
Such a clickbait. List of TikTok. Meet Athlia Cannon, a teacher at the NKC school in Missouri. She posted a TikTok appearing to mock students who stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, do you want this person teaching your kids?
Crazy.
Da, 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 da. All right. All right, Colonel Tom Watkins. Somebody should ask William Harvey. Let me rephrase that. Somebody should ask why William Harvey was in Dallas in November 1963. He was at Rome. He was the Rome station chief and ran Mongoose. He would have been in Dallas when French assassins showed up. Why does that matter? Because the Roman station worked with NATO secret armies and their trainer Otto Skorzeny. The French assassins were part of this operational Gladio entourage. Harvey spent quite a bit of time on the island of Sardinia, which was a training base for Gladio, according to Harvey's deputy. Of course, Lansdale's ex-wife identified him there that day as well. Sounds like a mongoose reunion. So what are you talking about? All right, JFK's assassination board. OTD on the day in 1978, The Spotlight, an article by Victor Marcetti appears. The headline reads CIA to admit Hunt involvement in Kennedy's slaying. The article refers to a 1967 memo that had recently surfaced during the HSCA investigation in which James J. etc. All right, Sunday News. Was Howard Hunt in Dallas the day JFK died? I don't know. I would have to look at that Sunday News and make sure that this is actually real or if this is a badly copy and paste document.
Yep.
All right. On this day, part 2, Angleton notified Richard Hems that no cover story has ever been concocted to explain E. Howard Hunt's presence in Dallas on November 22nd, 1963. The article states the CIA is planning a limited hangout since Hunt has already been so exposed from his Watergate involvement as well as his role in the failed BOP operation. The fact that the CIA was planning on limited hangouts proves that they were involved or they certainly knew members were involved. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kelly Mary Brady. Trump just reposted JFK's most terrifying speech and the deep state is panicking. How do you know the deep state is panicking from this speech? You know?
That we should continue to give great care and attention to. We should support the laws which the United States has passed in order to protect us from those who would destroy us from within. We should sustain the Department of Justice in its efforts and the FBI, and we should be continually alert. I think if the United States is maintaining a strong society here in the United States, I think that we can meet any internal threat. The major threat is external and will continue.
For we are opposed.
So there you go.
Yep.
All right, clump of cells. You don't have to wait 10 years. Responding to James, if we don't stop baby killers. In 10 years, the debate will be about the 4th trimester. Or the 28th trimester, like South Park. After birth abortion, why should the baby live? Yeah. They're pushing it. Have you noticed that the more that Trump defunds Planned Parenthood and becomes lack of funding, the more they're pushing for after-birth abortions?
Well, yeah, I know. It's crazy, man. Everyone just has so many different opinions on this.
I'm just telling you, at the end, it's just another form of blood money.
Yep.
The White House, wolves in white coats, hundreds of medical institutions and doctors push mutilations of children and profited from it while discussing the practice as gender care. Trump administration is dedicated to ending this abuse and seek justice for our children. Huh. Pumping. Yeah, you had during that executive order where he wrote about the vaccine mandates. He said they're pumping the kids with chemical. That's kind of strong language, isn't it?
Yep.
Eric, President Trump just personally walked off stage to a grieving parent of a 12-year-old, Jacob, a little boy in New York who was killed by the stray bullet of a repeated offender in a gun battle. 47 noticed that she was crying and immediately walked over to check up on her. It's kind of strange. Moving on. Kenan, the money has dried up. Act Blue, USAID ID, not all of it. Democrats are hawking their headquarters and asking creditors to defer their debts. The SPLC is under indictment, including their CFO personally. This is destruction of the deep state. It's truly unfortunate that the WinRed has not been scrutinized the same way as Act Blue has been. Oh, believe me, that's going to happen. You just have to take care of one party first, because both, while both wings are active, it's like a plane. You have both wings, it's flying. You take out the wings, it's not flying anymore, right?
Yeah.
This is from Mark E. Elias. It's an all-hands-on-deck moment. Lawyers need to do their jobs to protect the election. Courts must do their job to ensure the law is followed. And the voters must make sure that they have a plan to vote and turn out.
Look, I think that we need everyone to do their part, right? So it's an all-hands-on-deck moment. It is certainly at the centerpiece of all of this are the voters. And so every voter, as Sean said, needs to have a plan to vote. They need to make sure they're registered, and they need to turn out to vote. But we can't just send the voters out by themselves, right? We need the lawyers to do their part. And we've seen too much cowardice by too many large law firms. You and I have talked about this before, and so I'll raise it again. In past election cycles, we would be talking about, or you'd be having on this show, representatives of the largest law firms in America, all of whom would be lining up to send people out.
Yeah, because they're getting paid, George.
Yeah.
No money,
really?
no work.
Oh boy. Wait a minute. Are they getting benefits?
Yeah, the benefit was they're getting paid millions of dollars. They're not getting paid millions of dollars anymore.
Poll workers, poll monitors, they'd be filing litigation, and they're largely sidelined. We would be talking about.
Yeah, because you're not paying them. Who does free job? Who does free work?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody does free work.
Civic leaders and business leaders issuing press releases and giving time off.
Yeah, they were also being paid. They don't do that for free.
What? I thought this
their
was
workers
a
to go
social
vote,
society.
and incentivizing them to be poll workers, and they are now all cowards and.
No, they have no incentive to do it. There's no money involved.
remaining silent. So, and finally, we'd be talking about the fact that the election officials are the uniform backbone of our elections, but over the course of the last 3-4 election cycles, we have seen more Tina Peters get involved in administering elections. So,
So in the last 3 or 4, we're seeing people who does the right thing and start calling out the irregularity of the election.
Illegality.
Yeah.
Walking illegality. Talking illegality. Okay, I can see that. There's a song in there.
And the Republican Party has become much more dogmatic in replacing good election officials with bad election
Replacing their bribed election official with the people who actually uphold the laws.
Officials where they can. So ultimately, we need everyone to do their part. We need the voters, we need the lawyers, we need the media, we need the few.
Yeah, you're not going to get that, Mark. The money's drying up. The money is drying up. George?
Very dry. Almost like the Gobi Desert.
Yeah.
Man.
Gobi Desert. Eric, the Brazil leftist President Lula is now panicking, begging President Trump to stay out of their upcoming presidential election, fearing right-winger Flavio Bolsonaro will be elected. Lula is now withholding diplomatic approval for Trump until the election end and wants to talk with 47 about not interfering. Trump will not allow Latin American countries to be taken over by socialism. Elect a right-winger, she won't regret it.
Wow.
Yeah, well, it's it kind of sees the writing on the wall when all his neighbors are turning to left-wing presidents and joining President Trump's coalition to hunt down the cartels, and he's the biggest country by far in the continent of South America. Insider Wire, the State Department revokes over 750 visas in birth tourism, cracked down 150 in the last few days. Those numbers needs to keep racking up higher and higher.
Yep.
This one is hilarious and sad at the same time, George.
Oh no, really?
Yeah. Panashiri the Hated. Indians have been trying to scam each other with fake cow piss, so cow piss expert are being called upon to personally taste every batch and ensure purity.
Oh God.
It's something that even the most racist person on this app could ever have come up with. If you give them the carte blanche in 5 tries to come up with the most anti-Indian joke they could ever conceive of. Yeah, we have to taste the piss. It has to be real piss. Grade A piss. Not cheap whiskey piss. This tastes like whiskey piss. And we can't have great whiskey piss in this. It's a piss off. So yeah, George.
Just nasty stories, sir. Nasty. You should have said viewer George discretion applied.
I only read the words. I didn't show you the video.
Don't. Oh, there's a video. Oh no. Move along. Nothing to see.
Yeah, they were making a full batch of piss there. Wall Street Apes, we're in trouble. A woman had jury duty. The entire jury had to be dismissed and the trial canceled because one of the other jurors had decided to go home, put all the information from the trial that the jury had received into ChatGPT to try to solve the case. And they had to dismiss the whole jury.
Yuck. Oh, sorry. I'm still thinking about the last story.
You want me to go back and actually show you the video?
No.
I can see that you're interested in cow piss.
No, I'm not.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bassett, show me where communist has ever worked before, whether it's the Soviet Union, Cuba, or Venezuela, or North Korea. These policies, you always end up with less. Core inflation, which comes out days ago, was 2.5, a very good number, moving towards the Fed 2% target. What we have seen in the past year is wages for the bottom 25% of the working Americans are up 5.5%. Yeah, not good enough, Mr. Bassett. Not good enough. Because 2.5% means it's still rising 2.5% of inflation, meaning that even if the bottoms are going up 5.5%, that still means that they're still under 2.5%. Because the rule of thumb is whatever this number is, you have to make it up at least 3 times higher. Because we're still so deep in the defunct, because wages hasn't even been matching pace with inflation for the last 20 years. So if you want to see real substantive changes, then the wages needs to be about 25% higher than that. And then we'll be probably matching roughly where we need to be. Roughly.
Yep.
All right. The next one is this is stupid. All right.
What the hell is this?
All right. Let me stop this. All right. This is from Colin Rugg. A 20-year-old female cyclist was revived by the means of CPR after becoming trapped underwater after attempting to cross a flooded bridge in Arizona. The woman eventually was sucked into a tunnel and injected 100 feet downstream. She was then given CPR until she regained consciousness. But let's go back to the initial point of the whole situation, right? First of all, you see running water, right?
Yep.
You see that you should be in the middle of the said thing if you're going to cross it, right? See
Yep.
He's not here. He's not close here, and he's not close there, right?
Yep.
But you see her. She goes here, right?
Yep.
And then she goes over, right?
Yep.
So she's holding onto the bike, right?
Yeah, your life's in danger, and the last thing you want to do is ruin a terrific bike.
Right. Her priority should not have been, oh, let me hold my bike.
It's a good thing she didn't have her coffee mug with her, because that coffee mug was not, the meaning of water.
Yeah, so she's there dealing with a running river, at this point.
As we all know, why do such people try to cross a dangerous running river?
Exactly. So right here, she should have let go, right, and tried to get out, but she stayed too long and she slipped. See right there?
Yep.
So she slipped. So the guy who crossed over is like trying to grab her, but she's been sucked down the vortex. See how strong the vortex is? You got 1, 2.
So basically, they should have just let her go and see where she ends up. Jurassic Park. The underground railroads.
Yeah, and then she gets ejected. See?
Yeah.
This is why you
and
don't.
Now all those people have to turn around and jump into the water on the other side to save her.
So here's the other thing. They are still trying to save her because they think they're over here, right?
I think right now he's saving a salmon. He got a hold of us of a salmon.
Yeah, instead of and whoever's recording this already sees that she's down there, right?
Yeah. But they're not telling anybody,
Exactly.
They're just recording because
They're just
they are
recording.
journalists. They
Yeah.
don't get involved. Or do they?
All right. So, what's the moral of the story?
Don't cross running water
Exactly.
without a horse.
Somehow, I'm sure she would lead the horse into the ditch. Rap House TV: woman sprays her dead bush green after her homeowner association tries to charge her for it. The HOA ain't going to keep charging me $45. So what does she do?
What does she do?
She sprays it green.
Ah, jeez.
Or she could have just gotten a shovel and just removed the plant because it's dead. But then again, she's living in an HOA, and that was her first stupid mistake.
Oh no! What's the second?
This.
She touched the third line, didn't she?
Yeah. Because they're going to look and see, oh, you spray painted the ground. That's now they're going to have to come in and wash that, pressure wash it, and she's going to be owe a bill of $200. Just watch. They're going to do that.
That's terrible.
Eric, former Democrat, New Jersey Mayor Gina Pleska has been charged with fraud. She faked signature to obtain ballot placement in 2026 primary along with her husband. It's the same Democrat charged with DUI in 2025 with her 2-year-old in the car. Yeah, it works. If it works, it works. Why would she stop?
Yep.
Why stop believing? Eric, California Democrats have moved to pass a law that lets criminals loose if they commit a crime of necessity. That means if a crime is just low enough, the person can walk. Man,
I got nothing on this, man. If you might as well, make a life of crime, stealing candy.
Exactly.
You and opening up a candy store across the street from the stores that you steal candy from. I mean, wow, really?
Yeah. And then to the surprise of nobody, this is from Lean Report. Apple is now sending an alert directly to iPhone when it detects that a user may be targeted by government-grade spyware such as NSO group Pegasus. Why would an individual need to worry about the government spying on them?
Yep.
I don't know. I just don't know. All right. We'll end it here because every other article becomes sadder and sadder.
Okay, yeah, let's end on a happy note.
Yeah.
Bing!
Ding.
The
All right.
machine that goes bing!
Bing! All right. Thank you to our lurkers and bots. Thank you to everybody else. Thank you to our listeners on all platforms. George, what's your final thoughts?
Yep.
Help support the channel by getting a copy of the Immortal Mask 200-page graphic novel. You can get it on my website, Dinales.com, CriticalBlast.com, and Amazon.com. We'll see you tomorrow for Movie Sunday, where George will randomly select a movie. We'll watch it, try to roast it if we're not falling asleep on it.
Yep.
I'm joking. Last part. All right. Peace out.
I believe that together we can make America great again. I believe that together